Hello, I'm Robert, and you're welcome here in my business shop. On today's episode of What's on My Workbench, I've got a fun project here. I got a question for you. What makes something an antique? Now, the gentleman that gave this to me, we're gonna clean and do a little bit of repair work. We've got some stitches that are coming apart. I'm not sure he would call it an antique, but it's over 40 years old, and he had it custom made to go with his saddle that he had made as well. So let's go over here in the workbench, take a look at what we've got to work with here, and we'll see if we can get here's a before, and we'll get an after shot here after a bit. I appreciate you taking time to be with me in the shop today. All right, so a close look here. Obviously handmade, had it made same time as the saddle. Up under the flap we can see pretty much the original color. Been used some. The owner did tell me that he wished it was maybe a little bit bigger, but we're not addressing that today. What we're going to do is we're going to give it a good cleaning. We're going to oil it. I'm not going to put any tan coat on it. We're just going to go with the oil. Some of this looks like it's just dust, but let's get started here with some warm water and some saddle soap, and let's see what we can get accomplished. What works good for me is to get a little bit of saddle soap worked in here, and then move to another place and come back after this has had a chance to loosen up the dirt a little bit here. And the saddle soap's got glycerin in it, but I think it's good to get it well rinsed off. And we're going to oil it some. And I know there's lots of debate about neat's foot oil good, neat's foot oil bad. This set of saddlebags, I asked the owner of it, that are over 40 years old, and he said that he would clean it and use neat's foot oil on it every spring. The rest of the season it was kind of on its own. The tooling on here is fairly simple, but it looks nice. I really like the tooling. I've been looking for a maker's mark. The owner did tell me who made the saddlebags, and I'll see if I can remember who that was, and maybe add that information back in. There might be a few people that remember the saddle maker. I like the strap. It's a simple strap to hold it, and I find that doing projects like this, I have a chance to learn a few things as well, because I probably wouldn't have used that thick of a strap, and I think it's held up very well for as much use as it's had. We can see cleaned versus not cleaned here. Get back on this side. If only these saddlebags could talk. The cowboy they belong to, for some reason I think he almost would rather be called a wrangler than a cowboy. And I'm not sure the official difference, but he did more pack trips and such. He didn't, I don't think he chased cattle on a regular basis. So I think more of a wrangler. But the places that they've been and the stories these saddlebags could tell, and I don't take that lightly. I really appreciate the fact that he trusted me with his saddlebags. That wouldn't be everybody. So I'm going to hang these up, and we're going to let them dry thoroughly, and we'll come back with some oil, and then we're going to evaluate these seams here and figure out where we need to add some replacement thread. And his is a twisted thread that is on here, and I'll be using a braided nylon. So here we are. I'll be back here shortly. So the water is mostly dried out of it. The leather is in, I think, really good shape for being 40 years old. And I'm going to go through here now, and it looks like the back part of each one of these gussets here near the flap, that's probably where when you pull on it, it gets the most stress. It has come loose or worked loose on each one of those. So I'm just going to go through here, and I'm going to use, I've got a length of Tigeritza thread here, and I picked beige because I thought it kind of matched this aged thread color here. I didn't want to, it probably started off as white, but if I use white, it's going to really stand out. So I didn't want the repair to be quite so obvious. So I'm just going to use the beige here. I've got a couple John James needles. And this is some fairly thick leather. So I'll probably need to use the stitching awl to open that up a little bit to get these stitches through, but we'll play it by ear here and see. I'm just going to start up here at the top, and I'm going to go around the horn here once with a double stitch here. And what I see is that by starting here, I'll work down in here and then stop. I don't have a knot up here that could potentially fail. So my guess is, originally I thought maybe this had been previously repaired, but these look like original stitches. So if they've lasted 40 years, there's probably a good chance that this repair will last at least half of that. So if we get 60 years out of the saddlebags, then, we're doing good. I'm just going to open this up a little bit here with my stitching awl, and that'll help get the needle through there. And during examination of this bag and the condition, it looks like that the same spot on each of the pouches, the two pouches on both sides, this is where it's failing. And I'm sure that when the bag is being used and pulled like this, it puts a lot of stress on that. So I'm sure that's the reason why. I think it's a well-made bag, that's for sure. I'm just going to come down here a few stitches. That should lock everything in. And then I'm going to use my thread zapper, and we'll melt this off on the back side. I believe that's far enough to lock that in. And then I will melt off here at least a 1/16 of an inch, maybe an 1/8 of an inch of thread. And if you've ever tried to dig these out, that's a pretty effective way to lock that stitch in. And I just need to get rid of this old thread here. Melt that off. So I think that's a pretty serviceable. Repair. So I've got 3 others here at the back, and it looks like maybe 1 or 2 of these on the front. Maybe this is the his. Let me look at it here. That's the left side. I was thinking maybe it was the right side, but I'm sure it's the side that he used the most with whatever was going in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and go around here, finish up these stitches, and then when I get done with that, we'll come back and we'll put a coat of oil on it and take a last look at it before I return it to its owner. I appreciate you taking time to be with me in the shop today. I'll be back here just in a few minutes. All right, so the leather is dry and ready. I went through and I did the repairs, and I ended up going around on each one of these front ones and just putting a couple of wraps on there. We can see the full stitching on this one and here. I did that on all 4 of these. The flaps are in good shape. There's a little bit of a frayed piece on the other side here, but it's got all that stitching, so I don't think that needs to change. So we're ready for oil, and you know, this has got so many years of use. I don't think it needs a ton of oil, so I'm just going to give it just a nice oiling here. Not going to, as some would say, soak it through. Yeah, I was saying earlier, if the bags could talk, the stories it would tell. I've heard a few. I'm not going to pass them along. What happens in camp stays in camp. Just beautiful leather. I like the tooling. The tooling is nice, but fairly simple. You could put a coat of tan coat on this leather, but I don't think that's necessary at this point. On something like this that's so established, I'm hesitant to do much oiling on the rough side. I don't think that's really needed. And in some ways, I think, somewhat just replenishing the oils that I scrubbed out of it, cleaning the leather. That's the way I'm looking at it. The leather does not feel dry. And when I asked him, I know there's some people that say don't ever use neat's foot oil. And I asked him what he would do with it each year when they worked on it. And he said he would clean it and put 1 coat of neat's foot oil on it. I'm just putting a coat here on the smooth side of this back piece of leather. So I'm going to finish rubbing this oil in, and I'll let it sit for a little bit, and then we'll come back and do a wrap up on it. Here's a before, and we'll get an after shot here after a bit. Well, there you go. Just a simple project to clean and oil some of this leather. I believe he said that he got the saddlebags the same time as the saddle, which has been, I believe, over 40 years ago, maybe 42 years ago. I tell you what, I've said it before, and I think some people kind of roll their eyes, but I'm honored to be able to work on leather like this. These saddlebags, I'm sure, mean a lot to the gentleman that has had them on the back of many horses over the years. He did say that he had 2 different ones. He thought one was too big, one was too small, but it's got a lot of use. It's got spots here to tie it on the back of the saddle. I think the tooling is just beautiful. I wish I could remember the name of the saddle maker who did this. He had told me who it was, and I have forgotten the name. But I appreciate you taking time to be here in the shop with me today. Please like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, I hope you have a great day.